they're kind of stuck in their traditional tobacco control strategies, which have worked up till now. So we've got plain packaging, we've got the highest cigarette prices in the world, we've got strict tobacco control. And in spite of that, people are not quitting. And I think any person, sensible person would look at that and say, well, that's all right. It's not, and it's worked up till now, but it's not working like it did.
At what point does the government realize, and the opposition to vaping realize, that when you increase the cost of a pack of cigarettes and it reaches a particular point that it's clear the person is addicted and cannot quit? What is that, $30 a pack, $100 a pack? How much blood money does a government and the opposition need to see lower income people spending on a pack of cigarettes before they agree that not everybody can quit and safer alternatives are needed?
Smokes are the highest priced of all countries in the world. A packet of 20 Marlboro is over $30. And that causes huge financial stress. And so switching to vaping saves the average smoker, $5,000 to $10,000 a year. And for people who are struggling, and in the middle of a COVID epidemic, where we're in a recession, this is a really important issue. Real wage rises haven't risen for 5 years, and now we have high unemployment rates and people are struggling to pay mortgages. And to take away an opportunity for people to save heaps of money, it's just really unfair. Smoking is increasingly concentrated in disadvantaged and marginalised groups in Australia. They have 2 or 3 times the smoking rate. And this population's being left behind. The evidence now shows that this population is more likely to take up vaping, and it'll help to reduce the social, financial and health inequalities that we see in Australia because of the high smoking rates.